Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me again. Another day, another glorious look at more Transformers being added to my collection. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a wonderful time. Again, Transformers the movie, this time from Buzzworthy Bumblebee, from that line that is, I guess, technically Target exclusive, although I got mine via Hasbro Pulse in this case. Again, Ironhide and Prowl from the 86 Transformers, the movie. Um, but this time, they're essentially dead. So these are, I guess, their look when they're in the shuttle in the movie, if you're familiar with it, where Megatron and the Decepticons literally shoot everyone down and then they're all dead. All your childhood heroes for 2 or 3 or 4 seasons, however long those initial G1 seasons were before the movie, I think it was two, um, just shut down in a matter of seconds, right? So for as a kid, very shocking. But interestingly enough, I guess Hasbro decided, hey, we have these molds laying around. Let's release them as dead Autobots. Now, I do have an Ironhide without the battle damage. That's the reason why I got this one. I don't have a Prowl. I have a Masterpiece Prowl, but I don't have this mold. So I decided to go ahead and sort of get that one. So here you go. Buzzworthy Bumblebee, Ironhide, and Prowl in their dead look. Here's the artwork on the side, but here you go. Here they are. He's got some chest damage there. There it is, same thing there. And this guy's got some, again, by the headlight, he's all broken. The face also shows some pain or damage, whatever that may be. But yeah, I'm gonna open this up. But here you go, some more artwork of these guys with the battle damage. But interestingly, nonetheless, dead Autobots. But thank you again so much for joining me. I'll open this up and give you guys my thoughts. Okay, so moving on here, got these two guys out of the packaging. Inside, in addition to these two guys, Prowl and Ironhide, you will get a background here. Obviously, this being Transformers, the movie, the 86 movie. In this case, this is the shuttle attack, right? This is when the Decepticons, Starscream, Megatron, a couple of others attack the ship that a couple of these Autobots are in and literally put them out of commission in this case. So that's what these two are based on. The background is really nice. It's a really nice illustration. So again, if it's something where you want to display your figures, sort of trying to emulate that scene, this would be a great option. Now, obviously, the main focus of this two-pack are these two guys. So I don't have a previous version of Prowl, at least in this mold, either the Siege, or I believe they may have been released also as Earthrise. So this is my first experience with this mold. This one I do have. I actually have a Ratchet and an Ironhide from the 86 movie. So if you have these two before, not really much to change. There are a couple just little things that have been changed. So to start off here with Ironhide, really the main change here is the fact that they're no longer using the clear plastic that was used in this piece. This looks like it's painted red plastic. So it's good from, I guess, a perspective that this is a piece that actually pivots a lot when you transform the figure. So in some cases, I guess the more solid plastic is a lot better than the clear plastic. So that's something, I guess, that this figure has on, I guess, a bit of an advantage over the other Ironhide. Other than that, there are also details here like these lines that are not present in the other figure, in the original 86 Ironhide. So again, if you like that panel lining, this figure will definitely work for you. The other obvious change here is the fact that the head sculpt is different, right? In this case, they're trying to emulate that scene where they're trying to fight back against the Decepticons and they're sort of yelling and everything. So that's why he has that sort of yelling, their expression. Same thing here, and obviously you could see, sorry, in the chest, he's got this big gaping hole. Obviously, if you've seen this movie, you know what happens to these guys. So that's what they're trying to recreate here. You've got his front window completely shattered and missing glass. He's literally got a hole through it. And there are some effects that come with these two figures, and I'll show you those in a second. But that's what these ports are for, essentially, to sort of mimic the fact that these two technically get killed in that scene. Um, Again, as I mentioned, I don't have a previous version of this guy, neither the Siege or Earthrise versions. So this is my first experience with this mold. It doesn't look too bad. And like Ironhide, he's got battle damage, I guess, if you want to call it. There is a little port here where you plug in, again, more of those effects, those damage effects that it comes with. And the more notable change, I guess, for me is, again, in the face. I think they did such a great job of emulating the part where poor Prowl literally gets ended at that point, right? And smoke starts coming out of his mouth and eyes. So I think that face clearly reflects that part of the attack. As far as the figure itself, I do, it's got some good articulation. You can move the elbows. The doors back here, you can move them slightly back or push them forward. The head kind of rotates. The hands here do rotate as well in place. Just be careful. And let's see, waist can fully turn around, and you can kick forward. You can kick. You got the knee bend, pretty much a pretty good rotation, and you've got ankle tilt, which is pretty cool. Going on the back here, there is something I don't like about this figure is that he's hollow back here. They did try to cover up some of the hollowness with these panels that you can flip down. But they don't do, I don't think they do such a good job. So you do have all this empty space right here in the back. But other than that, the back's pretty cool. Again, as I said, I don't have this mold from the original, so I'm going to assume that perhaps this piece may have been clear plastic. I don't know. In this case, this looks to be solid plastic with the blue painted windows. The figure itself is really great. Again, do you have to be going for this specific mold, that you want to get this damaged version, maybe to recreate that scene, because that's exactly what this is. You see some damage there on the headlight, on the front. Yeah, that face is definitely on point. He's got some cracks on the headlights, essentially. So, but, again, very reminiscent of that sign. And then same thing here, as I mentioned earlier, articulation-wise, this mold had some great articulation on the arms. You can bend the elbows that much. The hands do turn. The guns are kind of in the way. The arms can go all the way. His head, pretty much, you could turn it fully. You can rotate the waist. He's got a hip skirt here, then allows him, when you lift it, that allows him to kick and then bend, same thing. And then the ankles, you get pretty good articulation that they can be pulled out because that's part of the transformation. Back here, I think they did a good job trying to hide all this little kibble into the legs. So it doesn't look too bad. There's no hollowness, so I appreciate that. And then the back sort of looks like that. But, and you got some joint here where you can sort of move the legs. You can also do the splits pretty well. So I do like this mold pretty well. So I'm going to show you the effects right now. Alrighty, so these are some of the effects that you do get in this pack. So that's really cool. They include these if you like to build, your dioramas or your action scenes with your Transformers. You are going to get a whole bunch of these, and you can attach these to their guns. So you can do that if you want. So to make it look like he's firing. They're a little bent on mine. They're soft plastic, but you get the point. And then you also get these that are more. I guess you can use them to sort of attach them to the guns if you wanted to, but these are more, so it looks like he's shooting something, but these are more actually for the chest parts here. So for example, you got that little port there that fits here. So if you wanted to, you can sort of emulate him getting shot again from that one scene in the movie. I'm surprised they didn't include like smoke effects or something to come out of his head or whatever. But yeah, you can sort of try and emulate that. And then the same thing here with Ironhide, right? He's got that big gaping part there, but you can, I guess this one doesn't fit in too well. So we're gonna have to use this one, but if you wanted to, you can do that. And yeah, that hurts my soul right there. That's pretty terrible. But you know, hey, this is what this set, what you get in this set, right? If you're getting this set, you know what you're getting into. If you're familiar with this scene, but yeah, that's pretty much what these are for. You can attach them to the guns. You can attach them to their chest to emulate them. Pretty much getting wrecked at that point. Oh, and you do get again, like I think 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them that you can use. So again, so I will be using these because I'm going to put these guys in some kind of diorama fighting Devastator. I'm not necessarily going to recreate the scene from the shuttle. Weapons, these are the exact same ones that came with, again, this Ironhide figure. I believe Ratchet also comes with the exact same figures. You know, nothing too crazy. They're done really well. Same thing here. Here's a gun. So that's really cool. I do like these. I don't have this mold, so it's nice to have this. I guess, kind of wish he didn't have that face. It's not bad by any means. It's just, he looks really sad. Ironhide here. Again, I guess I already have this mold, so I don't mind it. I think it's actually a great mold. Transformation-wise, this guy is not too bad. So I'm going to attempt to do the transformation in this case. So usually what I do is I lift these arms here, lift them out of the way, because they're essentially holding this tab in place here. So you want to move that out of the way, and then this kind of loosens this whole section. You're gonna then take the whole front and just slide it out. The head, then at this point, you're gonna turn this around, make it face the other way. You're gonna take this panel and fold it down. So next thing to do is take these legs the way they're facing now and just turn the waist completely around. Take these gray panels here and just fold them in as such. And then you can then at that point join these two sides. There's a port there and another port here, where a tab rather, where you can line these up and they sit something like that. These two you can leave alone for now, but then essentially at that point we're gonna bend these knees to sit in that in that crevice here. So you're gonna take something like this and sit it in place, and then at that point we're gonna bend this down so that this sits. It takes a bit of a fiddling around with it to get this to go in, but you have to get that all in to fit in there. Let's see. So that it sits down like that, and then it'll meet. You can just leave it loose for now. These two sections in here, you can take this, fold it down so they sit flat. These arms here, you'll see that there's a little tab, so you're just gonna fold it in. Just make sure you get the wheels out of the way, but fold it in so that it sits in there, and make sure the wheels are facing like that. So same thing here, turn this way, and then make sure that tab lines up and get that to sit in there. And then you're gonna take these and fold them down. And then the last thing to do is these doors. They're going to close into the arms here, and they're also going to go here into there. So you're just gonna try your best to get that tucked in, have the arms so they're in there. So same thing here. There's a section here and here and here that needs to sit in there. And that's pretty much it. Once you get everything into place, you kind of just fiddle it around, and this is what you're left with. It, for me, kind of doesn't really close too well, but it also looks just okay. I do like the Z, what is it supposed to be, a 240C a Nissan or a Datsun, depending on where you're at. But so it doesn't look too bad. Definitely got the G1 vibes here of that car. And you still got the damage here. The blue painted windows doesn't look too bad, and of course, this rolls pretty well. So nothing too special, but I do like that little car mode. This guy is a little more involved. Again, if you do have this mold, the transformation is exactly the same. With the only thing being is that I think because of the lack of clear plastic, this will probably runs less of a risk of sort of breaking in this case. So what we're going to do here is open up this panel. So pull it out toward the front. That'll allow you to then rotate this roof panel, and then also rotate these windows here. So you can get that out of the way. Then you can take this head and fold it in so that it's kind of hidden in there. At this point, you could take this and, you can leave it sitting like that. Next thing to do is this back section of what is essentially the front bumper, right? We need to rotate this so that it meets here with the front. So you need to fold this down and then move this up. What that will allow you to do then at that point is you could take the this section here and turn it. So you got to turn it and make sure this front bumper is not in the way, and just turn it until you see that the front sort of matches with the windshield here. So you're going to look something like that. This is always going to move as you're transforming the robot, so you can fix it later. Next thing to do is these arms. So essentially you're going to take these arms and they come off. They're normally sitting like this. You're going to take them and untab them, and they're going to sit like that. So same thing here. You're going to take this, untap the whole section, and they're gonna meet essentially here. You're gonna tab this into here, right? And then at that point, what you could do is these arms bend. Sorry, not the arms, but the hands. You're gonna fold them in as much as you can, which should have you look with something like that. And for now, you can leave them. We'll play around with those. Next thing to do is the legs down here, right? So first thing to do is the feet here become the back of the vehicle mode. You can sort of take the bottom of the feet, undo them, and then here you can fold that. Same thing here, do that, bottom here, unfold, and just fold them down, so you'll be left with something like this. Take these the shins and just take these sections and flip them up and leave them as such. And then at that point, you're going to take these sections here and you're going to flip them up. And you'll see as you flip this up, this moves from left to right. This gray piece will actually shift. And you want to make sure that you have these as far forward as you can. So then same thing here. You're going to take this, move it forward as far as you can, and you'll be left with something like that for now. Take these side windows here, undo this so that it folds this way, it folds this way. Take these panels and just flip them up like this for now, so that you end up looking something like this. So now we're going to join these two sections. As you see, there's a lot of ports and tabs that need to be joined. So first thing I usually do is just take this and push it in for now. Then take these sections and just line them up so that they tab in the correct order. So something like that, and just push them together. At that point, then you can finish sort of putting that together back here. For now, tab that in. And then you could take these and just push them in. This should tab into here. You'll see these little tabs that are gonna go, they sit, essentially, they help to guide it and sit it in place. So just gonna try and do that right now. There we go, one side, two sides. Right. So you'll be left with something like that. At this point, you look like this, and you're just going to take these hands and fold them slightly. So then at that point, these little tabs here will go into here. So we'll try and get this to line up as such. So you gotta play around a little with it, and you end up with something like this. Now you can play around with it. Then we're gonna take these side sections and pretty much fold them in place. They're gonna mainly tab in here, and this front section, just leave it out for now, but they're gonna fold in. So I'll show you in a second what you have to do. So just take all this and fold it in inside like that, and have that sitting there like that. This is the same thing here. You're gonna take that, make sure this tabs in, and you're gonna end up with something like this. Now, this is a part that I didn't really like in the original Ironhide, is because this was all clear plastic, this section, you kind of have to, in a way, force this in, because these two sections here have to sit in there. So usually the way the instructions tell you to do is to push this and just, again, something like that, and at that point you're good. The good thing, again, as I said, this is not clear plastic, so I'm assuming this is going to last a little more because this is solid, and at that point you're left in this mode. As I said, I don't believe the previous version had this line, so that's the one difference. Then obviously you got these painted windows in addition to the damaged windshield here in the front. So again, if you have these molds, you know what you're getting. They just have the extra damage, and the transformations are virtually the same. All right, guys, so as we wrap up the video, I'm going to do some comparisons. The first one being, of course, here is the Ratchet from the Studio Series line. And of course, this is over here from the, I guess, what do you call this? The Bumblebee movie shuttle attack version. You guys could see these two. Obviously, the heads are completely different. All the chest and also these leg panels are clear blue plastic versus the painted blue plastic here on both the chest and the legs. But that's really it. The red hues are all the same details, the same gray. And then also, as I mentioned earlier, and you probably noticed it more in vehicle mode, this guy's got the yellow strip running down the side versus no yellow strip here. So, but other than that, they're pretty similar, right? Other than this being the one that was in the shuttle attack and this being the Studio Series. So that's the three of them right there, standing together. Another figure that it's pretty much it's the same mold, but it's different. It's a whole different character. Would be Ratchet here. Again, ambulance mode, but again, this guy has that clear plastic, which I like the way it looks. But this section here on the chest is on a. You do have to bend it a little bit to get it into that vehicle mode, so that makes me a bit weary of the longevity of that plastic. But so this one kind of fixes that, but again, he's got the battle damage. So it all depends on what you're trying to get out of these figures, but that's the three of them together. So moving on here with the comparisons, here they are next to some Decepticons. So there's Skywarp, there's Earthrise Skywarp, and here's Thundercracker. Just for anyone that may be interested to see what those look like, we can move Skywarp out of the way here and next to Starscream. I mean, that's literally the exact same mold as this guy, so it would look the same. And here they are next to Blitzwing. So again, if you have these two guys, that's what they look like next to these two. Next, I guess we could show Jazz. Always thought, oh, my Jazz here's got some loose knees. So there you go. That's what it looks like next to Prowl. And we'll move. Oh, you know what? Here's Jazz and Brawn. So there you go. See what they look like together. And then last two would be two Insecticons. It's Kickback and Bombshell. So really cool stuff. Am I gonna say this set is a must-have? Probably not, unless you're like a completionist. I got these two out of morbid curiosity, just to see what they would look like. I do appreciate that they switched from the clear plastic, at least on Ironhide here, to this more solid plastic. But I think other than that, I mean, if you have the previous Ironhide, so like this guy here, you technically don't need this guy. I mean, it's great too that they give you these extra effects, so that's really neat. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad set. It's not a terrible set. But again, if you have these molds from the previous Earthrise or Siege series, I don't know that you need them. They do look cool, and it's nice to have, I guess, you know, a callback to that particular scene in the movie, as traumatizing as it may have been for a lot of us, right? As kids anyway. From what I do hear is that apparently they may be re-releasing this Ratchet and this Brawn in a similar vein as these two, so damaged, and again based on the shuttle attack, because I believe these two were also in that shuttle. So we're probably going to get these two in a 2-pack. Damage is my understanding as well. So I guess if you want to expand your collection of damaged and perhaps dead Transformers, then well, there you go. But yeah, set's not too bad. I don't know that it's a must, but hey, it's out there. It exists. If you want to get it, you can go ahead and grab yourself a 2-pack of damaged Transformers. But thank you so much for making it to the end, for hearing me here ramble on. I really appreciate it. If I missed anything, you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next video. Take care.